Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wealth Defense Radio, the podcast. I am your host, Josh Nahosa, and I am an independent advisor representative for Swan DFW, which stands for Sleep Well at Night Dallas Fort Worth. That's the company that puts on this podcast, and I am here with a man who's very festive and whose shirt lights up like a Christmas tree. He's very proud of it.
Amen.
It is Hector and Josh.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. I just can't move because the extension cord is right on the wall.
Yeah. Hector is a certified financial planner, which is the top mark in our industry, and he started Swan DFW about 11 years ago now.
In January, that's right.
So we record this, and as you're hearing it, and the shirt is awesome. Is it hot?
It is not.
There you go.
The hat's a little hot. But yeah, if you're just listening to this, you really should spend a little time to go find us on YouTube, because otherwise this is not going to make any sense.
Yeah, it's this would be a great one to see, the Christmas attire. We've gone all out.
We've gone all
as
out.
all out as we're willing to go.
And
We've gone out.
Maybe our engineering department could put like some festive Christmas music behind us as before we actually release this podcast. So
maybe snow falling. Rudolph flying across the screen.
Would be awesome.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's put him up to the challenge.
We'll see.
All
You
right.
guys will see what we see.
We'll all be surprised together.
Yes. But Christmas is coming up. So we thought we
hope
would
so.
do... As we record this,
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up. Maybe you're watching after. If you're watching after, Christmas just happened.
Or having a long time ago.
Yeah, it really depends. But why don't you explain what we're talking about today?
Well, like I've told you guys since you were really little, I have a direct connection with the big guy in the North Pole. And as I was sitting around yesterday or last week trying to figure out what we should do for a podcast this week, I gave him a call and I said, "Hey, Santa, need a favor. Can you give us maybe 5 topics you'd like to share with our clients and our listeners about Christmas and financial planning? 2 phrases that don't go together very well anytime, but this time they will." So he did.
Yes, so Santa directly sent you.
Yes, he
5
recorded it,
things
and
about retirement.
artificial intelligence has produced it in a 5-point thing. So we are ready to talk about that. Let's see what Santa has to say about Christmas and financial planning.
Yes, but first we have a real life news story.
Oh, okay.
This week,
All right.
and it takes place out in the great country of Turkey, where they just uncovered the tomb of one Saint Nicholas.
No, I just talked to him. He's fine.
Okay. Imagine like the Santa Claus movies, when one dies, there's like a new one.
Okay.
So like the Tim Allen version is running around right now.
Yeah,
But not the weird like claymation one.
Gotcha. Yeah,
The Tim Allen from the first 2 Santa Claus.
Yeah, okay. Now this is making more sense because, as we all know, Santa Claus is real.
Yes, and he was real. The original one died in like 240 AD.
Oh, no.
Yeah, rest in peace. But they found his tomb. They've been digging at that site since 1989, and they just stumbled across one St. Nicholas's tomb. It was rumored that he was buried there for the last couple hundred years, people thought, but now it's confirmed.
And they know that because there was like a Christmas tree buried with him, or an elf, or
Could you imagine
cookies?
an elf?
Well, how did they know?
Find an elf. I think there's like writings and just like, because you can, the tombs are labeled.
Yeah.
So.
And all the letters written to Santa Claus.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Makes sense.
Yeah, the Santa Claus nickname. It was a Dutch nickname for the guy, and the Dutch nickname was Sinterklaas. So roughly translated to English,
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
So St. Nicholas was a real guy who took presents to all the children, and that's where it all got started, huh?
Yeah. They thought his body might have been stolen at around 1000 AD, but it apparently was not.
Well, look at that.
There you go. Big discoveries.
Big discovery.
In the Christmas world.
Of Turkey.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not me. But the more you know. And now you can tell all your friends.
Yeah.
This useless information you've just found.
Yeah, just be careful how you put it. You don't want to say that Santa died and they found his... Yeah, just be careful. Maybe don't bring it up at all.
Yeah. Use your best judgment.
Yeah, store this away as more useless information.
Yeah, but now to more useful information.
All right.
Yeah, we have 5 things.
5 things
Santa would say
yeah.
about retirement.
Yeah, and so we caught up, and he's doing fine, and his wife is doing fine, and he didn't lose any weight again this year for like the 40th year in a row that he and I have talked, but then neither did I. So the first thing he said, after I asked him what would be some things that would be good for us to share with our listeners, and he thought about it, and he, in the voice that only Santa has, says, ho, 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 hold on to your savings. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Just like I hold on to my sleigh, a good nest egg will keep you flying through retirement.
Yes.
And we're going to have to kind of see what he meant by that. And I think what he's talking about is having a nest egg, obviously, is really important if and when you retire. And there will likely come a time when either you don't want to go to work anymore, or you can't go to work anymore, or they don't want you to come to work anymore.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. And if we did things right, you will have a nest egg that will be big enough to sustain you and your spouse through the rest of your life. We need to have one of those. And the question becomes, well, how do we get one of those? Mm-hmm. And the biggest question is, the best time to start building a nest egg was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Second best time is today. Because if you don't do it today, in 5 years, you'll say, should have done it 5 years ago. So just start today. The beginning of the year is always a good time to start. So take out your 401k paperwork, put a percentage down that you're going to start with, even if it's 2 or 3 or 4%. If there's a match up to like 3 or 4%, make sure you do that so you can get all of the match, because that's just like free money, and start doing that. If you don't have a 401k, give us a call. Let's open an IRA, and we'll take $50 or $100 a month out of your checking account, and you can start socking it away, and we'll invest it so that you can have some a serious nest egg. So that, like Santa, as he holds on to a sleigh, you will have a nest egg that you can hold on to.
Yes.
How about that? Ho, ho, ho.
Yes.
So, why don't you take number 2?
Number 2 here says, remember, cookies aren't the only thing you should be stocking up on. A little financial planning now, and you'll be jingling all the way during your golden years. I think what that's talking about is coming up with a financial plan that you can stick to.
Yeah.
Because if you're just kind of wandering aimlessly without a financial plan, a lot of things can go wrong, and you may not even know that they're going wrong until it's too late. So it's good to have a financial plan that you can stick to, and obviously those are mendable as you age and as goals change.
You're absolutely right. Early in my career, even lately in my career, people will come with either a box of stuff that's all thrown in there, or a really nice binder with all of the stuff that they bought over the years. And as we're going through it, I'll say, okay, so why did you buy this? And the answer a lot of times is, I don't know. I said, well, what does this do? And they say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, then why did you buy it? Well, because my cousin's son started selling insurance, and he said everybody needed one of these. And even though I don't know what it is, or I don't know why I bought it, or I don't know where it fits in my plan, I bought it. I have it, and I've been paying $50, $75, $100 a month, for 25 or 30 years. And some of them can be pretty good, but oftentimes these are not products that would fit into a plan. So when you build a plan and you say, here's where I want to go, it lets you know what it is you need to buy, things you need to put in the plan, but just as importantly, it's an easy way to say no. It's that this doesn't fit in my plan. That's not something that I need, because I have a plan. I know where I'm going. I don't need that. I think Santa is right again. That having doing a little financial planning will keep you jingling. Keep those pennies in your pocket jingling. They still make pennies, right?
I assume. I heard somewhere it costs like 1.3 cents to make a penny now.
Yeah, but they make it up in volume.
Yeah, but that's not how that works.
Okay.
Why don't you read number 3?
All right. Well, so he says, he makes a list and he checks it twice. And so he's going to refer to that here. He says, checking your list twice is good, but checking your budget twice is even better. Boy, Santa's pretty smart. He says, don't let retirement surprises sneak up like a mischievous elf. I think he's got an elf problem. But budget is a word we as Americans don't like, because it almost feels like we're being told that we can't buy something or do something or enjoy the hard money. And so let's call it a spending plan. Let's have a plan for the money's going to go. And the very first thing, spending plan 101, is make sure that you are spending less than what you're making.
Simple concept.
If you can do that, then I think you're on your way. So that's the first thing. And how to do that, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Some people will buy software and they'll track every expense. There's, usually what we find is if somebody's got a checking account and they keep, let's say, they keep $1,000 in there, and then both spouses are working, and both checks or as many checks that come in every month go in, and they started with $1,000. If they have $1,000 or more at the end of the month, then we can probably deduce maybe, that they are spending less than what they're making. If they're having to take money from savings or put things on a credit card, then we can also deduce that they are spending more than what they're making. So step one, before we get into all the different budget items, is let's make sure that we're spending less than we're making, and that's the beginning of a good plan.
Yes.
And check it twice, because that's what Santa said. Mm-hmm. All right.
Number 4. Seems like Santa has some animosity towards elves this
year.
Like,
and the elves had a bad year.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, maybe he needs to outsource some stuff. But he says, number 4, forget the elves. Let your investments do the work. 'Tis the season to let compound interest make merry with your money.
Yeah. Make merry. MERRY. Yeah, that's a real important concept there. We've been saying since we started this company, actually, I've been saying it since 1995, get your money working as hard for you as you worked for it. Don't let it sit idle. And this power of compound interest is really, really important.
Is there a rule or something that...
It's funny you should ask that. We call it the rule of 72. And it's really pretty simple. Let's say that you had $10,000 and you had it in a checking account or a very low interest rate savings account, and you were getting 2%.
Yep.
So you take the number 72, you divide it by the interest that you're getting, 2%. And the answer to that is 36, and that 36 is the number of years it will take you to double your money. So Started with 10,000, 36 years later, you now have 20,000. If, on the other hand, you had, and there's no investment right now that we have, but just to put a number and make the point, say that we could get 12% on an investment every year. And so we would take the number 72, we would divide it by 12, because that's the interest rate that we're getting, and that will get us 6 years. And that means that your money is doubling every 6 years. So if that $10,000 in 6 years would be 20, in 12 years would be 40,000. In 6, 12, and 18 years, it would be 80,000. In 24 years, it'd be 160,000.
30. In
30 years, thank you, it would be, what did I say, 260?
You said 160, so it'd be
320. This is very good. And in
36 years.
In 36 years, where the 2% had become 10,000 grown to 20,000, over here it'd be $640,000. We're going to put that on the screen because we kind of messed it up here.
Hoo-wee, Tonto.
Wow. I see the elf situation that's happening. So $640,000, same $10,000 start with, same 36 years. Would you prefer 40,000 or 640,000? And that's the power of compound interest. So just putting it in a savings account, better than not having any money anywhere, but not as good as investing it and letting it grow. Okay.
Yes. The last point here, number 5. While Rudolph guides my sleigh, your financial advisor can guide your way. Santa should start a rap album, I think. Go into like slam poetry or something.
Okay, but you did, the last part is pretty...
Yeah, it's never too late to start planning for cozy nights by the fire.
Never too late or never too early. And that's the deal. If only we had the number of people in America that feel like their retirement plan needs work.
Yes. Well, fortunately for you, I have that number.
Oh, right.
71% of U.S. adults admit that their financial planning needs improvement.
Yeah.
And only 29% of people use a financial advisor.
Only 29% of people use a financial advisor. Funny. And 71% say they need improvement. So I think what Santa is saying here is that working with an advisor is a good idea. Here's the number one reason that people don't work with an advisor. It's too expensive. If I start working with an advisor, they're the only ones that are going to make any money. I'll never make any money, and so no, I don't want to work with an advisor. I'll have more money if I just invest it myself. If only there was some statistics somewhere that would show us if that's true or not.
Lucky for you, boy, do I have it. Let's see. The Journal of Retirement Studies says 15 people that work with an advisor wind up with 15% more money at retirement.
Yeah, so
after fees.
After fees. So let's talk about that. That you have somebody you can talk to, somebody you can run a question by all the way through while you're working with them, and they're going to manage your portfolio, and you're going to end up with 15% more money. It's hard for me to see an argument against using us, and yet only 29% of people do. We do these podcasts because we're showing we're pretty nice people. Maybe we're a little weird, but we're pretty nice people and really, really like to help people and help them make their dreams come true. Ho, ho, ho.
So, if you would like to talk to two rather ridiculously dressed, currently, financial advisors, we have a couple of different ways that you can contact us.
Nobody's ridiculously dressed, sir. I'm just festive.
Okay. We have a couple of different ways you can do that. The first way is via phone number, and that is 888-792-6339. That's 888-SWAN-DFW. And the other way is via written correspondence, and that is info@swandfw.com. That would be an email at info.
Is that really written or is that electronic?
.net. I think it's typed. I think it's the same.
Okay.
It's like if you were to send a typewriter letter, that's like written.
That's like written. Okay. So, yeah, I think this is a good episode, and we're going to write Santa a thank you letter. And if you'd like to write Santa a thank you letter, I think he'd appreciate hearing from you.
Yeah, do that in the comment section. Maybe.
Please, yeah.
So, thank you guys for listening. Merry Christmas, and we will see y'all in 2025.
Yeah. Have a blessed and holy and joyous Christmas season. Thank you. God bless.
The preceding content is informational only and based on information available when created. It is not an offer or solicitation, nor is it tax or legal advice. It does not consider your financial circumstances and objectives and may not be suitable for you.